So the end of resort taxes and the resort fees might be upon us. You can't see me, I'm in the shade. I'm Steven, I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Full-time Vegas blogger, you get news here first. That's just the way it's been lately. So two different Congress people, one Eddie Bernice Johnson, a Democrat from Texas, and one Jeff Fortenberry, a Republican from Nebraska, have joined forces to basically bring up a bill in Congress that would lead to a federally mandated end to these resort fees. Now, it wouldn't really end resort fees per se, but what it would do would be to have to disclose those fees and wrap them up to your entire price in a hotel stay. This is very similar to what happened with the airline industry when the internet started selling airline fares. People would see an advertised fare and think, oh great, I can fly from New York to Los Angeles for $100, and then about $250 later find out that they were paying a whole amount of fees that they never even knew existed. It's a type of deceptive advertising in a way, isn't it? But let me ask you a question. Is it really a form of deceptive advertising? If the resort fee is listed on the website, consumers have a choice to go ahead and book that hotel or skip that hotel. But this would hopefully lop all the fees up into one price, because apparently over $3 billion, that's billion with a B, dollars worth of these resort fees are collected across the country. Mostly, of course, in Las Vegas, where in some states it's actually a tax that you see when you check out your room stay. In Vegas, a lot of them are hidden. So there's where your deceptive practices, I guess, come in, right? But what I'd really like to see is one big mover and shaker in the industry decide to kind of shake things up and make it so instead of having the room fee be a certain room fee, maybe, just maybe, we could ask people what they want to include and pay a smaller room fee. For example, don't plan on using the pool, then your key card isn't coded to work the pool. Want to watch the Netflix on your internet connection at the resort because you're in a town with bad internet? Go ahead and pay that, and then at the end of the day, you're paying a much smaller resort fee and not having some big blanketed thing that covers everything that you might not even use. Now, I would ask you your opinion on resort fees, but I kind of know what that is. They suck, no one likes them, and they cause people to have to pay way too much on their vacations. But what I'll ask you is, what's your opinion on government intervention? Should we be forcing and mandating through the federal government how hotels collect their own taxes? Is that something that turns into a slippery slope? Do they just jack up the price of rooms and say that the resort fees are gone and now the rooms just cost more money, knowing full well that the internet pricing sites are going to reduce the rates and it's all going to be very confusing for people? Does this set up more of a confusion? And at the end of the day, that's the unfortunate part, isn't it? It seems like big businesses and large companies will always come to an agreement on how to rig the system almost, how to take advantage of consumers almost, and how to teach us new consumer patterns for booking things like rooms, buying cars, looking past the fact that we're getting ripped off on different taxes and fees at the end of the day that we may not even really use. But what about you? Do you think that government regulation of this stuff is good? Are you an advocate for it? It doesn't matter what your political stance is, because in this case we have a Republican and a Democrat both coming together to battle something that they see as something that's detrimental to people who are consumers and staying in hotels. Hopefully you learned something today. We might have a new federally mandated way of booking hotels in the future. We'll see if Congress decides to pass this, or if the big fat cat hotel lobbyists, I'm sure they're out there, if they decide to tip the right people or convince the right people through, of course not bribes, but just free vacations and stuff, not to pass this kind of law. What do you think about it? Give me your opinions below. I'm Steven, I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Like, share, subscribe to this channel, and we'll talk to you guys in another one. Bye-bye.